Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and greetings. Welcome to DIY Woodworking TV. Check out what kids are doing in the background. Obviously, have to stay at home all the time, and we are actually happy to stay at home because we have study to do, we have phones to play, we have games to play, we have PlayStation Jedi games to play, and we have woodworking to do. So in this video, you're gonna watch these chairs that the kids are using, and in coming up next video, that study table. I will show you how we made it. We actually worked together to build this. Let's take a closer look at these Wally eye chairs for kids' study area. Well, Wally doesn't have eyes at the back, but on these chairs, I have eyes on the back and I have eyes on the front here as well. There's a seat, golden seat for their little bum-bums, and there is a golden storage box down there as well. I couldn't make the tracks for the Wally. I was thinking to make tracks to make them look really Wally chairs, but I don't have that tech and skills to make tracks. So kids love these seats and they have started using it from day one, including this table which has a story on it. The study table, I will show you how we built it. So kiddos, keep busy working. Let me show you how I and kids together we built these Wally eye study chairs for kids with storage areas. So every build starts with cutting stalks, and I chose some really heavy pieces of wood, and then I ripped them in 4 pieces because originally our idea was to go with traditional 4-legged chairs. So we ripped pieces accordingly, and look at that, I have to do something about it. Anyway, we are cutting the stalks, we are cutting the thinner pieces now. I keep my kids along with me while doing this and always tell them to keep safe distance. After cutting stalks, we went ahead and thought how we will assemble them, these 4-legged standard chair. So we are talking about the design, and my kids thought those were really heavy chairs for them to move around. And so I had to change my plans. So this was the original plan, which looks pretty complicated but would have a lot of storage space. Anyway, I had to change the design, and while I was sleeping one night, I had this amazing idea of a new design with a single frame and building a chair around it with storage. So I go ahead, I cut the stalks again, even thinner pieces to shed the weight of the chair. This idea required for me to not very first time, but again cut dados.
Now I have to cut dados in those pieces, so I'm going to use this curve maker tool from Banggood. More. Looks good. Tighten it. Now this should help.
So this tool, I got it really cheap from Banggood, and it did make life easier. Check this out, what an amazing fit right there. Previously I made dados without this tool, and I always had either very tight or very loose dados, but using this tool everything went very smooth. I was surprised how good it was to use, how easy it was, and how well I cut the dados. I did make some mistakes. 2 or 3 of dados were pretty tight, but hey, a tight dado is easy to fix rather than a loose one for which you have to cut the chips. So I cut dados, half lap and bridle joints all the way on these pieces, which will make it very easy and quick to assemble this frame. The single frame chair was definitely a good idea here. Not only it makes chairs lightweight compared to using 2 frames, but also it saves on wood stocks. Right here I saved a lot of wood by building these.
Alright, you're getting my idea now. That's the seat. That's the storage area. That's the balancer, so it will not trip left and right.
Now it was time to assemble, and everything being cut right, it was easy for me to assemble. Squareness, yes, squareness was a key here for me. So I went with my favorite triangles that I bought off Banggood, and corner assembly jig that I bought off local portal. It helped me assemble all the pieces together completely square. Nothing was out of shape here. Obviously there were some mistakes that I did fix using sanding and of course some hammering work. But I'm happy how everything turned out really good, nice and squared. So the frames were ready in no time at all, and they were looking really good. So I went ahead and assembled 2 of these frames. Now it was time for me to build the box. So I went ahead and found some wood pieces that were left over from previous projects and cut them down to the size I wanted. And while I was doing this, check this out, I just learned how to make chopsticks. Now we will not run out of chopsticks at home because these are really nice. Hey, my skills are improving. Check out what sweet chopsticks we have. Wife will be happier now. Anyway, I took a piece of plywood and measure it, then rip it according to my measurements. I just realized my table saw had many more features that I haven't been using. So now the pieces are cut and I'm deciding how do I make simple boxes, storage boxes for my kids. After deciding, it was all time to rip some pieces down to their fine shapes. I didn't want to plane them. Hey, I made some paper. I learned to make and cut thinnest strips possible. By the way, those 4 strips I will be using later. They are very, very useful. So after cutting all the pieces, I'm back to assembly, and I realized I was running out of screws and I didn't want to put the screws in those thinner pieces. So I went ahead and brought my, bread nail electric gun out. Also, the corner mates that I bought off Banggood are really helping here for assembling the boxes because they're actually designed to, assemble the boxes properly. So these corner mates really helped me to assemble these boxes nice and squared and also quicker than I expected. I'm using this nail gun, which I'm really scared to use in my daily life, but I had no choice because I didn't want to use screws. This nail gun is really nice and powerful, but it has no safety features. So if you try to use it without anything, it will still fire the nails like bullets. Very good tool to fight off a zombie apocalypse, I love it. Anyway, so the bread nails and the nail gun was really nice to fix everything nice and quick, and the boxes were ready in no time at all. Now I went ahead, and this was a difficult task. My the holes that I drill for screws are always not in straight lines, so I thought this time I have to do something about it and learn how to make holes in proper straight line, because otherwise they will look very strange on these pieces that will actually form the seat of this chair. So I went ahead for good measurements, and I did my best to drill all the holes in the right direction and as straight as possible. After that, as my kids, they love this golden color spray paint, so I went ahead and spray painted them gold. It was easy and quick, and check this out. We have gold bars, people. I wish I had real gold bars, this many gold bars, and I didn't have to do woodworking videos. Alright, next step was to cut wally eyes, for which I took some scrap pieces of plywood. So I draw some shapes and use my belt sander to make them round and as close as possible to look like Wally eyes shape. Then I went ahead with the spray paint, with the black spray paint. I cut a hole in a piece of paper and spray a circle on each eye. By the way, I went on both sides, front and back. I then used the same piece of cap from spray paint can and use it to cover the eyes and spray white paint around so that everything will look nice and circular. After that, a blue patch was painted using a paper, and I cut the paper again to paint a simple white color which shows some reflection. I'm not very good at spray painting eyes, but I'm doing my best. The backrest piece was painted yellow with black edges around. Now it was time to paint the chairs. As I am running out of the wood paint, I thought it would be a good idea to spray paint them white. I spray painted the legs black and also painted red and yellow lines to make them look even more attractive for kids. Now it was time to fit the boxes, which by the way I again spray painted golden because my kids love golden color. Nail gun, the bread nail gun was again my friend here to quickly assemble the boxes on the chair. It was time to put the backrest and the Wally eyes, so I went ahead with a little bit of glue and bread nails again. And I was really generous using bread nails here because I wanted them to be nice and tough right there. We're using normally these eyes to pull the chairs around, and they're really fixed very strong on the back. Now you want to see how I assembled these pieces of the seat. I just measured one and then went with by side and just my feelings and guts and assembled the rest of the pieces on top, making beautiful, nice looking golden seat for my kids' little sweet bum-bums. Chairs are done. Hey, not bad. Turned out to be better. I am actually not very good with the spray painting, but I'm learning. It's all a learning process, and I believe for kids these are pretty attractive. They have a storage area down there and golden seats, golden storage box, Wally eyes. I hope it's dry. I don't know why this became magenta. I actually sprayed blue. I hope this blue also can turn magenta, but let's see. Anyway, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ah, man, pretty comfortable. Not bad. Well, glue is still drying. I don't want to put my heavy bum on that, heavy fat bum. I want to move these things. So now I will clean it up and give it a spray of transparent spray for glossy finish and bring them up. See what kids say. Okay. So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Here comes kids' Wally chair. Ta-da! Wally. Right? Sit down and see.
Why is there water?
Because it's raining outside. The height is good, and you can put your foot on the box as well, right?
Yeah.
Good. Looks nice. Alhamdulillah. Its height is okay, right?
Yeah.
Not too high. Come down and check. And it's golden bars. Your little bum-bums are sitting on the golden bars, right? Like it? Like it? Okay. Now the body of the Wally, under the Wally eyes, there you can maybe paint something as lights, a red light and some stuff. So I'm happy the project went very well, and my kids simply love these chairs and they have started using them from day one. Coming up next, the video of how we build this study table for them. The nice big study table. Stay tuned.